combine is behind us. Pro days are happening now. Boards are being built. So we are going to go through. We're not going to focus on offensive linemen, defensive linemen. We're just going to let the board come to us. By the time the Bears' number 10 pick came up, guys like Armand Membu off the board, Will Campbell off the board, Ashton Genty off the board, Mason Graham off the board. But still a lot of decent players. So all those blue chip guys, gone. Still a lot of decent players. So the Bears are trading back. They find a trade partner in the Miami Dolphins, who are there at 13. They move up to 10 to select Tyler Warren, a new tight end. And in return, the Bears get 13, and they get pick number 98. So they add another top 100 pick, and they only move back a few spots. Now, 11 and 12, it was Mike Green and Donovan Ezeraku. So a couple more defensive ends off the board, but the Bears still get a dynamite player at 13, and that player is Ohio State Buckeye left tackle Josh Simmons. That's right. Now, this guy has a big medical asterisk. He had a torn patellar tendon in his knee, which is a serious injury. But according to Ian Rappaport, medicals looked good at the combine, and his pro day at Ohio State is coming up next week. And Josh Simmons was confident at the time that he'd be able to put on a show at that pro day. If he can prove that he is medically healthy, can be a great athlete, he could be the steal of the draft. Because before his injury, he was playing like the best tackle in the nation. Get this, in 5.5 games, only gave up one pressure. That was it. He was penalized once. In run game, he was moving down the field, getting up to the second level, and again, he is a left tackle. Some of these guys got questions. Armand Membu, his right tackle. Will Campbell, you've heard a lot about the short arms. Is he actually a guard? Same with some of the other offensive tackle prospects. There are no questions like that with Josh Simmons. The question is the health. And if he can prove that he's healthy, and if he's there, the Bears might get a guy who can really compete with Braxton Jones for starting left tackle reps right away. Moving right along to number 39. This is the second round now. The Bears are selecting defensive end from Arkansas, Landon Jackson. Now, this is a very big guy who is also extremely athletic. 6'7". When he was with the Razorbacks, he weighed at 280 pounds. Combine, he came in a little lighter, 264 pounds. So we'll see where he ends up weighing in the NFL. Dennis Allen likes him a little bit bigger. That's kind of his prototype guy. Dio Adengbo, big guy. Cameron Jordan, big guy. He's another big guy. He's also extremely explosive and a great athlete. Put together a wonderful performance at the combine. He has elite RAS, and he also has production to match. He's not just a flashy traits dude. 6.5 sacks each of the last 2 years at Arkansas in back-to-back seasons. So really solid. So that's who the Bears are taking at number 39. 2 picks later, the Bears are back on the board, number 41. What's better than one big, athletic defensive end? How about 2 big, athletic defensive ends? We have the Bears selecting JT Tuimoloau out of Ohio State. So we're adding more Buckeyes, more national champions. If you want to become champion, add some champions. He's another big dude, 6'4", 265 pounds, so similar to Landon Jackson. Experts love his play strength. And he's really good against the run as well. That's really, really important. He also had big moments in big games. It was one of the best performers throughout the entire CFP. Check this out. 6.5 sacks and 11 TFL throughout the entire CFP as the Buckeyes march their way to a national championship. Now we are entering the third round, the number 72 overall pick in the draft. And we're going with a guy with an NFL pedigree, Mason Taylor, the tight end from Louisiana State University, LSU. He is the son of Jason Taylor. So he's got that pedigree. He knows what it takes to succeed and to win at the NFL level because of his dad. He's also very young. He just turns 21 this year. And despite being a young guy, he has all sorts of records at LSU at tight end. His career there, he had 129 catches, 1,308 yards. Both of those are all-time tight end records at LSU. Now, he's more of a move guy than an inline guy. Right now, he's still young, but that's okay. Yes, the Bears signed Durham Smythe, and he will work as, the number 2 guy for all intents and purposes behind Cole Kmet. But Durham Smythe, probably more of a bridge player. This gives Mason Taylor time to develop, and he doesn't need to be the inline blocker because Cole Kmet is solid at that. Cole Kmet's got that down. So now you got your tight end 1 of the future, Cole Kmet. You got your tight end 2 of the future in Mason Taylor. And finally, we got that number 98 pick that the Bears acquired on day 1 from the Miami Dolphins when they traded back. And with the number 98 pick in the draft, we are taking Aeneas Peebles, defensive lineman from Virginia Tech, another very disruptive player who had a great Senior Bowl showing, and we know that Ryan Poles loves good Senior Bowl guys, especially with his day 2 and day 3 picks. So like I said, explosive, 37 pressures last year. That was 6th most among interior defensive linemen, and a 17.8% pass rush win rate. That was 3rd among interior defensive linemen with at least 100 pass rush snaps. So, guy's a disruptor in the backfield, and for his disruption, he earned 2024 first team All-ACC honors. So now we have 2 new defensive ends. We have a new interior lineman because we know the Bears want to come at you in waves. It's not enough to just have 1 defensive line. That's what the Philadelphia Eagles proved in the Super Bowl. You got to have 2 waves. So now we got waves of defensive ends. We got waves of defensive linemen. The Bears have helped both of their trenches. They've added a tight end. All sorts of good stuff for the Bears in the first 3 rounds of the NFL draft. Now we have 3 more mock drafts. If you want to watch them all, you can check them out right here. You can go to our CHSN app, all of our socials, and check out our offensive line version, our defensive line version, our post-Senior Bowl version, all sorts of players to learn about with these.
Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? This is G Walker, one half of the CNG podcast.
And I'm CJ, the other half of the CNG podcast.
What's going on, everybody? It's G Walker, the CNG podcast, and we got a great show tonight, man. We got not only the CNG podcast, but we got some newcomers to Bears Nation, man. We got our guys in here, the OGs, of course. We got them boys, the Bears Den podcast. Fellas, how y'all doing?
Good. How are you, sir?
What's good, guy? What's good?
Man, I'm good, bro. Then we got the OG Allen, the CNG podcast. What's going on, bro?
Not much, man. Chilling.
Right. And then we got our young boy over here, Phil, of the Professionally Profane podcast, and also of the way of Just Another Year Chicago Bears and Just Another Year Chicago Bulls. Phil, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me on. I'm honored to be here. Let's get it.
Yeah, let's get to it, man. Then we got our young boy right here coming in here. Our boy of Soul Back Sports is in the building right now, bro. How you doing, man? We got a squad in here tonight. I told y'all I was gonna deliver, and look what we about to do. We about to cook. How you doing? What's going on, Emery?
Doing good, man. How are you?
Man, it's just a blessing to have everybody in the show right now. It's super cool to see you guys here, man. Let's retweet this, repost this, let's share this around. Let's build our own Bears Nation, our own community. So everybody's been talking about the early round of the draft and the first picks and the second picks and all of that second round stuff. But we wanted to get into a little bit more deeper. You know, we want to get into some guys that pretty much in the later rounds of the draft, you know, those 4th round picks, those 5th round picks, 6th, whatever. So what I did, everybody in Bears Nation, if you watch it right now, I had every last one of these guys give me 3 names, 3 prospects. So it's 3 highlights each from each person in here and a couple of slides. We about to cook, bro. Like, y'all have no idea. So we're about to cook right now. So with that being said, and look, I'm not going to any order. I'm going to just click on the video, and whatever video is, they will know which video and what player it is because it's their player. It's who they wanted. So give me 1 second. We're about to cook right now, and we're going to start it off with a bang right here. We're going to go with that boy. And you, bro?
I mean, he's a playmaker. It's that simple. He's a playmaker. We need depth at running back. This is a very deep draft with running back, but he's a playmaker. You get the ball in his hands, and all I see him do is make plays. I mean, I like the kid. He could line him up at fullback from time to time, and he's a very good runner between the tackles, and he's a very good receiver. Man, I think, and we do need another running back. So I like the kid. I would, and he shows to be available in the third.
Want to go? Can go. Who next?
He's really, because he gives you something different.
Detroit.
Every time I saw him, he was breaking away. You know, he had so
Charlotte. He's on the West Coast, so he's not on that much in Charlotte. But I watched him in the bowl season. I think he would be exactly what we need because I think Ben Johnson wants the exact opposite of DeAndre Swift. Like Clarence was saying, you have Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, and they're exact opposite. And I think he likes having exact opposite running backs. So he always has options, and he's a very good receiver. Like he's a very good receiver. He's a lot better receiver than he gets credit for. I mean, you saw how many balls he caught out of the backfield in that little tape. He's a very good receiver.
Yeah, and these are some of his numbers, man. 293 carries last season, 1,700 yards, 21 touchdown, averages almost 6 yards a carry. And he looks like he's improved every year. So what do you got to say about his stats right here, Andy?
I mean, the thing I like the most is the average 6 yards. How many running backs can say they average 6 yards a carry? Not that many.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, that tells you he's getting hit and he's breaking tackles or he's dragging them for another yard or two. And then, like I said, his reception is 45. Like I said, he's a much better receiver than he gets credit for. I think he would be
What's his age, G Walker?
His age?
He's young.
What's his age?
No. He's a senior, so he got to be, what, 21, 22 maybe?
Well, COVID senior, he might be 23.
Yeah, with all the COVID, he could be 23 or 24. I would have to look that up.
He's 23 years old.
How old, man?
23.
23. Yeah, I just wonder about his durability. You know, I mean, he's got a lot of carries. That's a lot of carries, man. Almost 300 carries in college. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
And then when you transition to the NFL, you know, he's not going to get that many, but they hit a whole lot harder in the NFL. And in that age, you know, it's kind of like Velus Jones. Velus Jones was kind of an older player, and he quite quickly phased out. And that sometimes when guys come in the NFL at that age, between 23 and 25, sometimes they kind of phase out quicker than the average 21-year-old.
Yeah, I agree with all that. I think I did lead off what I was saying by saying I wasn't the biggest fan of Cam Scatterboo. And I think that's because I was worried about his athleticism at the next level. I think that he does a lot of really good things. I actually didn't know how good of a receiver he was out of the backfield. So I appreciate you putting that knowledge on me because I do like that. I like that a lot about him. And, he could prove me wrong. I mean, a guy like him has been proving people wrong his entire career. So, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't have a running back yet by the 4th or 5th round. I mean, you're not going to – let me put it this way. I want to get a running back before that, but if we don't have one at that point, you can't go better. You can't get a better back than Cam Scatterboo in that range.
One thing to remember about him is he's a north-south runner. So he runs with an attitude, which that's the reason why I love David Montgomery so much. He ran with a purpose. He ran with heart. I mean, I got this saying while I'm screaming at the TV watching Bears games is play like you hungry. He runs like he's hungry. And like Alan was saying, when you start getting into the cold months in Chicago, having some guy beating down on you, running with a purpose, it's going to soften you up, and you're going to start to feel that cold. So that's what I like about him. He played in a tougher conference than Genty did. So he's used to, and I'm not saying that he's better than Genty. Don't get me wrong there. I'm just simply saying he has played against tougher defenses, and he's still hard to bring down. Now, I'm not saying I would draft, and all depends on how my board lines up. But if he's there and I've addressed other things, I would not think twice about taking him.
Man, well said, well said. But we're going to keep it pushing. We're going to keep it moving into the next part. We're going to keep it going with the running backs, man. Hold on. We're going to keep it going with the running backs. Let's go.
Full. So when he running the football, he makes one cut, gets downhill. So that means he's going to be good in the zone blocking scheme. So the thing also with him, he's got a nice burst. So when he gets into the open field, he sees the end zone. And a lot of that is Kirk Ferentz, that lineman's that he brings up back in the day. All his line play is just beautiful to watch. So I love Caleb Johnson. A pretty good numbers. 240 is pretty solid. His yards, you said, is that 1597 or 37? 1537. Yeah, that's great numbers. His average is 6.4. Anything over 5 is pretty solid numbers for a running back. 21 touchdowns. So he touches the paint often. So he got a nose for the end zone. So I just love the kid, man. I don't want us to reach for him, though. I don't want us to, go too far in the second round. But if Ryan trades back like I want him to, he could be definitely a luxury pick that we definitely could use if we strike out on Genty and Hampton. I think he's the third best back in the draft. I know the guy from Ohio State pretty good. He's great at blocking, but this kid right here just got something that we need.
Man, I feel you, man. Well said. So Chicago Clarence, help us out, man. Like, what do you think about him, if anything?
Well, it's like I was saying before. He reminds me a lot of Matt Forte, and the fact that he didn't fumble a lot, that was in Forte's game too. Matt Forte did not fumble the ball when he was in the Bears uniform. So the production is there, and that's what we're going to need. And like I said, the fact that he played in a cold weather town bodes well for him being in the Chicago Bears uniform. You talking about 6'1", 224 pounds. You need a back of size like that, because sometimes you got to be in teams of blitzing. You need that back to be able to block, which is some of the reasons that we had issues with our last backs. Your running backs have got to be willing boxers. They have got to be able to pick up blitzes. This guy can do that.
So Phil, man, you see this right here, bro. 40-yard dash, 4.5, college, Iowa, of course, 6'1", 24 pounds. So what's your thoughts on a running back that's, okay, let's say Genty's 5'8", then you see him 6'1". So what do you think an advantage of a taller back might have than a smaller back?
I mean, in the receiving game, that's definitely going to help him out. I do think that there's pros and cons to each way, because I think that so the pros, though, for Caleb Johnson is that he's just a big bruiser. He's going to put the hurt on defense. He's going to really wear him down. And he's a great compliment to DeAndre Swift and what he brings. I think Swift, he kind of lives up to his last name, in that he's more of a finesse guy. He's a speed guy. He's going to run past you. He's not really going to run through you. That's what Caleb Johnson does. He makes you feel him.
Yeah. So Andy, what do you got to say about Caleb Johnson, man? Because I like a taller back. I like a guy like, he's been compared to Matt Forte. Now everybody know how special Matt Forte was here. Like, he's an all-time Bear, man. You put him up there with Walter Payton and him. And who's the other running back that we had that was good here? Was it, I guess, Gale Sayers?
Neil Anderson.
Yeah, Neil Anderson. So he come here. He got some pedigree that he got it. You know what I'm saying? He's coming up under, man, being a taller back like that. So I'm not mad if we can somehow swing this kid. So CJ, I know you in the background. See, we're gonna get you on camera in a second, CJ. So what are your thoughts about Caleb Johnson, bro?
I think you gotta have an offensive line for him. He's a running back that he likes to run through in between the tackles. And get it judged that way. So you're definitely gonna need an offensive line for him. That's any team that's gonna draft him. But you can definitely run the ball with him 20 plus times a game. He's that workhorse running back.
Yeah, and I agree with what everybody was saying, man. I like the kid, man. It's a deep running back draft this year. Like Alan was saying, we don't have to reach for a guy when a guy like this can fall to it. We know Amarion Hampton is going to be gone. We know Genty's probably going at 6. Sorry, Bears fans. Like, I don't think Genty's going to fall to us, man. Let's just prepare ourselves for the worst. Let's just prepare ourselves emotionally and mentally so we can be fine when he hear that name and he's not a Chicago Bear, man. Because I am convinced, not at the way that Ben Johnson has built this offensive line as quickly as he's built it, I'm with it running back at 10. Like, if we can get somebody special at 10 with this line, what he's done, I'm with it, man. Like, I'm with it. But let's keep it going. We're going to bring up another video right here. Where do I go? Who do I go? Who do I go? Let me look at my Rolodex. We're gonna go with, you know what? Let's keep it going. We're gonna go with one of Chicago clearances. Let's go. So what's your case for Shiloh? Clarence.
Well, I like Shiloh Sanders a lot. I know that he didn't get invited to the combine and whatnot. He probably may even go undrafted. But what I like about his game is the fact that he's a willing tackler. You can drop him down into that box and he can be your 11th man in the box. And particularly with us in our situation with Brisker, we can take Brisker and move Brisker over to free safety and make Shiloh Sanders our strong safety, because he does not mind getting contact, which is something that's different from what his father was when his father played. Now, the knocks on him is he's not particularly great in coverage, which he can be coached up on. And I think that his biggest weakness is he tries too hard for the big hit. He tries to lay your ass out. And that's not particularly a bad thing for me. I want somebody that's willing to put that leather on you. I want somebody that's willing to make you think twice before you want to go over the middle. Shiloh Sanders does that. Shiloh Sanders can stay with tight ends. And he can, like I said before, you can put him down in the box. He can be your 11th man in there. He can help you stop the run. And like I said before, with Brisker and his issues with concussions and whatnot and being iffy, that's the reason why I'm willing to move Brisker to free safety and let Shiloh play a strong safety.
Yeah, so what do you feel about that, Phil? You agree with that, Phil?
I gotta say, I don't know a ton about Shiloh Sanders. I mean, looking up some of his draft profile right here. He's it looks like he's got a good tackle rating. He's got some pretty good ratings overall. I mean, ESPN has an 80 out of 100 grade on him. I think looking at these highlights, he looks like a physical. Oh my God. That looks like Bears football to me. I mean, I don't know.
That was nasty right there. Oh my God.
Jeez. And that's a clean hit. That's all shoulder. That's legal. I mean, you shouldn't get flagged for in the league, but we don't know nowadays. You might get flagged just for hitting a man too hard. So but I really like what I'm watching here from Shiloh Sanders. He's really putting a hurt on some of these dudes. It'd be a lot of fun to watch him and see if he could develop.
Amber, what you got for Shiloh, man? What's your thoughts, Amber?
I mean, just like Phil, I mean, I haven't really looked into Shiloh Sanders that much, but from what I remember, I think he had some kind of injury history as well, and that's kind of one thing that when you're looking at his profile, you have to kind of take that with a grain of salt, because I think while he is able to lay out people how we saw in those highlights, you have to also take into consideration the wear and tear he's taken throughout his time in Jackson State and even in Colorado. So I mean, maybe that's also a reason why his draft stock is kind of plummeting right now. But I will say, listen, he will, if he brings that energy, he's under the Sanders name, that's obviously gonna have that the name brand, but at the end of the day, I think if it's a late pick, sure, and if we're looking for picks to have for depth, I would be okay with it. But an early mid round pick, I wouldn't take him then, but I would probably take him later on. But it's the injury history is what kind of makes me a little bit skeptical on this.
Yeah, man, because Allen right here, he had 45 solo tackles this year, 1 forced fumble, man, 1 interception, man. That's not gonna cut it. And I'm gonna bring this up right here. That's not even him. Hold on, I think this is him. Shiloh Sanders, here it is right here. He had to verify his 40-yard dash with somebody else. He wasn't invited to the combine. All that type of stuff is going on. So, Allen, man, what are your thoughts on that in Chicago clearance? What do you think after Allen goes?
Well, I think a lot of that is posturing by the agent. The agent knows that Shiloh is not going to be a numbers guy. He's not going to be an attribute guy, a guy that's got a 4.4, a reach, a jump, a 39-inch vertical. His agent is being coy. So basically, you're going to come to our pro day and you're going to get all the information you need. That's all posturing. The reason why I like Shiloh is pedigree. You can't go away from pedigree, man. I always go to the tree. If you want to know what the fruit is, you go to the tree, man. The tree is prime time. I mean, I grew up reveling his dad, so the tree is bearing fruit. I mean, so I would put my money on Shiloh. If he's around in the 6th round, I would take him in a heartbeat. I think that's a good spot between 5 and 7, late 5th. I would say that's a good spot for Shiloh. He's going to be a good complement in the defensive backfield. And I don't think we got to put a lot of draft capital into the safety position. I kind of want to go on the market and get a veteran, but I think he can fit the bill. You can move him around. Definitely on special teams, he's going to have to make a name for himself. And I think he's got the mentality to do that. He's just a tough kid, man. He's a whole lot. He don't give you his dad vibes. His dad was tough in other things, but this guy is rugged. Like, he's got a linebacker mentality. So I love it. He's got the attributes not attribute, but as the pedigree from his dad. I can't go wrong with that. If I was a scout, I got to try it late rounds. You can't get no worse.
Right. Andy, what's your thoughts on Shiloh, man, before we move on?
He reminds me of our guy Brisker. You can move him into the box and he'll come up and he will hit you. I mean, he's a physical safety. He likes to hit. He's not scared of contact. He reminds me a lot of Brisker. I'm not sure why he didn't even get invited to the combine. If he doesn't get drafted, I definitely would do everything I could to sign him as an undrafted free agent. I mean, I would definitely draft him in the 6th or 7th round if he's still there, because I actually do think safety is a position of need. Kevin Bayard is going to be a free agent after this season, and Brisker is unfortunately one concussion away from we don't know. I mean, I do think it is a position of need, because I was not impressed with our backup safeties last year. I was not impressed. I thought they were pretty bad. Hicks, I thought was pretty bad. I do think safety is a position of need. So I would definitely take a flyer on him if I could get him.
CJ, you feel the same way, CJ? CJ, you cool chilling in the background, bro, or what?
Yeah, I feel the same way. way.
I'm saying you cool hanging in the background or what?
Yeah, you guys got it. I'm cool.
All right, so what's your thoughts on Shiloh, man? Because
I mean, the fact that the kid plays aggressive, I could see him getting drafted in the 5th round, if possibly. The highest, I think, would be the 5th round. I could see him getting drafted in, because he does play with that aggressiveness. I think a lot of teams do like.
He 195. He throw that around like he 230.
Yeah. He plays bigger than he actually is.
Yes.
That's a fact. He has special teams demon written all over him. I mean, I know that he has an injury history. The only thing I'd be worried about is that he might end up just like Brisker, because he's out there literally killing people.
Yeah.
But I mean, if 7th round pick, I mean, I don't think you're getting better than Shiloh Sanders in the 7th round.
No, you're not.
If he doesn't get drafted, I definitely would try to sign him as an undrafted free agent. I mean, he's not projected to get drafted, which is
kind of wild. That's wild.
Yeah, it's wild that he's not projected to get drafted.
Yeah, like you'd think that his pedigree alone would have him in the draft at least.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he's.
It could be a Dion thing. It could be a Dion thing.
It could be. I tell you what.
It could. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I want to say, I just, man, Ryan Poles or Ian, Jeff King, look here, man. If he out there late 6th, 7th round pick, you got 2 7th round picks. I expect if he's on the board, he picking up a Chicago Bears jersey before he leave that building. I want to be on the Zoom call when I see the family going crazy in Colorado. I want that. I want to see that, man. So Ryan, please get this job done. That's our 7th round pick, man.
All right, we're gonna get to somebody that I wanted to pull up, man. We're gonna get to this next part. We're gonna pull up one of Andy's picks right here. Andy, you picked up who David Walker, right?
No,
that was me.
So it's David. So It was one
I
of these
picked David
guys.
Walker.
You picked David? All right, let's go with
Yeah.
old David Walker then. Boom, let's go. Turn your mic on.
Okay, who put me on this, man? Got some speed, dude. He's got some real speed. He can get after the quarterback. He's 6'2". He's got some size. I think that he's a sleeper pick in the middle rounds. I've heard him compared to Chop Robinson, who was a first round pick. I mean, so the reason that this guy isn't ever going to be considered that is because he played against, at Central Arkansas. But I think that he's got a lot of positives to his game that could really help, that could really benefit us in situational pass rush situations. We just signed Ode Ingbo. I think I said that correctly. And he's more of a, he's a big dude, a run blocker, but we're going to need guys that can get after the passer on third down. And if Austin Booker doesn't pan out, I really like this guy, David Walker from Central Arkansas. I think that he can make some, I think he can develop. I think that at the NFL level that he might be able to get a little stronger, still keep that speed. And I mean, you see right here, he's getting after the quarterback. I think his weakness is in run defense, but if you're using him, especially early in his career, in pass rush, specialized situations, he can be a demon, man. And Dennis Allen likes to stand people up and rush them. Like he does crazy stuff like he did with the Saints. So I think he could really utilize this guy. And I think that there's good reason to think. I mean, look at what he just did to that right tackle. He pretty much beat up everybody that he played. I know that the competition wasn't that great, but he played above it at all times. So it's like he ever played down to it. So I think that this is a sleeper pick in the middle rounds for the Bears.
Anybody else got anything to add to him? Anything that they like what they see from him right here?
Yeah, well, his height, he's 6'1". I think I'm looking at he's 6'1", about 265. I think putting him in space will be ideal. It just depends on what Coach Allen wants to do. Like, he would definitely have to scheme him open. 6'1", 280, 265. That's kind of slight in the NFL. And he's got a good burst. I checked out his bull rush. He's got good technique with that. He plays taller. I've seen a couple plays where he knocked the passes down, so he plays a whole lot taller than 6'1". But in the NFL, man, you got to think about it. You got 6'7" tackles. They can catch alley-oops. Like, these guys are athletic, man. So 6'1", 260, I would have to want him to lose about 35 pounds and get him in a 3-4 scheme. Now, in a 3-4 scheme, I think he'll get drafted. 4-3 is really the elephant style of defense we got. He'll be a tough draw to get him in there because he would have to play outside linebacker off the line, like a wheel or something like that. So then that becomes a coverage thing. So it'll be kind of tight.
Yeah. So what you got to say, Chicago Clarence? You got anything for old David Walker right here?
Yeah, I'm just gonna piggyback on what Alan said. His height worries me. You 6'1", 6'2". If he's got high heels on, playing on the D line in the NFL, right, it's just gonna get you mauled. I think he'd be best suited to lose about 30 pounds and stand him up, and be a linebacker. Yeah. I think that he can be a situational pass rusher in a 4-3 scheme or even a 3-4 scheme, and you stand him up on a line as a linebacker, and you can put him on the outside and he can come off the line like that. But he can't put his hands in the ground at 6'1" in the NFL. He's just going to get mauled.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to the.
I think we lost you, man.
No, I just turned my mic off. We're gonna go with one of Andy's guys right here. I think Andy guys had this dude right here. I think it was Jared Ivey. Let's see.
Looking at his stats, I mean, they say he comes off the ball with explosiveness, and he has the ability to lift blockers. His weaknesses are he doesn't anchor himself sometimes. He loses balance sometimes. Dexter.
Yeah, because you can't teach 6'6", man. Like either you 6'6" or you're not. Like you can't teach that, man. Like those are pure genetics. And when you see guys like this tall, perfect, he might be. Well, I would love to have this dude could be a problem in the shoestring tackle, bro. Shoestring tackle. So I love it, man. So I think he's gonna get drafted, bro. He's not somebody you want to like not pass up because he looked like he's fast. He got big hands. He's 6'6", bro. Like he's moving. Look at him, he's moving.
Yeah, I don't see any way he doesn't get drafted. I mean, like I said, he's projecting to go in the 6th round, and you can't teach 6'6". And it seems like Dennis Allen loves the big guys, defensive end. And I don't say he's not a starter. He doesn't even project to be a starter, but rotation piece, I think he'd be fine.
What you think, Amherst, man? What you think, Amherst? What you think of what you saw on this little bit of film right here, man? What you think?
Yeah, I really like it. I mean, especially, you know, for a 6th round pick, you know, and especially as a rotational piece, like you just said, like really solid move. I'm also reading up a little bit about him and like how his current path is right now. And apparently he's like every single place he's been to, he's been slowly improving as the time goes on. And he recently earned, defensive MVP honors from the Peach Bowl in 2023 and like first team all SEC recognition from College Football Network. Like he's received some pretty solid awards as well. And like, I think as time progresses and like, you know, even being a rotational piece, he will still like get that opportunity to develop. And I think the development piece is what's going to be really like what will open the eyes of Dennis Allen if he wants to, you know, go and get him at that 6th round pick or at that 7th round pick, you know, and you know that's only good for the Bears specifically is because if we decide, you know, we already have a solid rotation, like this guy could be the future, and it will only cost us what a 6th round pick, you know, so it's something to really look into, and I think like, you know, it opened my eyes for sure. And I should probably do more research on him, but I like what I'm seeing so far.
Yeah, me too. Let's keep it moving with the next video. I think it was I'm gonna pick one of Chicago Clarence's guys right here. Man, I like this dude you brought right here. I like this dude. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can find him. This dude right here. This kid right here. Xavier Watts. What'd you like about him, Chicago?
Xavier Watts is a football player. Another guy that I like in the safety position. The guy simply makes plays. And I know Andy's probably chuckling to himself because I am a Notre Dame fan, and I've watched a lot of football on this guy. But this, you put him back there in coverage, and he will hit you, and he will definitely take the ball away. We need that because we're gonna play that defense where we play in the 4-3 cover 2 zone. You need to be able to have guys that you can trust out there. How many times do we see quarterbacks pick up 3rd and forever on the Chicago Bears? You know, and this guy makes plays. Plain and simple. He is one of the leaders from the Irish defense. He's leaving school a year early because of the year that he just had, you know, playing for the national championship. He was a big reason why. He turns the ball over. He will hit you. He's great in coverage. I like me some Xavier Watts. And being able to play at Notre Dame, he lets you know he's also a very smart guy.
Yeah, because I was watching this film and I'm just looking like, man, I like what I'm seeing from him, man. Look like he can get to the ball. He look like he likes to tackle, like he's always around the ball. You know what I mean? And we need that, man. We need a better secondary, man. So this dude right here looks like he can be one of those guys that can help. Look at him, right? Ball popped up right there. He got right to it. Didn't take no time. I saw it coming damn near. So this kid looks like he can be something, man.
And yeah, you're right. And I'm sorry, but he's a guy that attacks the football. And what I mean by that is if you get the ball, you know, he's attacking it. He's trying to knock it out of your hand. He's trying to strip you when he's tackling. I never really seen him utilize the peanut punch as profoundly as other people have.
About a 4.49 So he got quicks playing the free safety position. Like Chicago Clarence said, he attacks the football. It looked like he had 6 interceptions last year. If Clarence correct me, but he has a good grade and he's 6 foot, I believe.
Here it is right here. He's 6 foot, 203 pounds from Nebraska.
Yeah, that's
so you
perfect.
were telling me earlier about how he from Nebraska.
Yeah, that's
you know
perfect.
how they ball up there.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's a perfect size for a safety. 200, anything under 6 foot. That means he can get up under running backs and he can cover. When you get too tall at 6'3", 6'4", sometimes you got to come down to hit guys. And you're not in coverage a lot. So sometimes you can be too tall to be a safety. But that's a perfect height right there. And coming from Nebraska, that has nothing to do out there but play football. That's it. So, that's why I'm like, hey, man, you get a guy like that, he's going to be a football player. Like Chicago Clarence said, he gets in the locker room, you already know his side he's on football all day, every day.
Yeah, ain't nothing else to do in Nebraska but knock over cows and throw hay bales and shit out there. He's strong.
That's it, man. That's it.
So Phil, what you like about Xavier, man? Because we know we need a safety, man. Because Brisker, who knows what's going to happen with his career, man? We talked about it a lot in the past podcasts, like, those brain injuries are nothing to play with, man. It's look like he might not be here for the long haul. So safety is a pretty important position, you think?
Absolutely, especially in the 4-3. You really want those safeties to be able to take the ball away, and I think that's what I really like from this guy. He has, according to all scouting reports, he has really good on-ball production, really rare instincts. He's got great ball skills. He likes to jump passing lanes, and I love that for my safeties. Gives me Mike Brown vibes. Shout out Mike Brown. But I really think that I think it was Alan that mentioned that he played at Notre Dame. Was it Alan or Clarence? My bad if I got that mixed up. But I love that because, like you said, he's very smart. Going to Notre Dame is no joke. So a 6 foot tall safety with great ball skills is something that we need. And I also like to say that I hope that Jaquan Brisker's brain and his head injury and everything is okay. And I hope he does recover and have a long career with the Chicago Bears. But you're right. We have to take an insurance policy. And I just want to say I hope he's okay.
Well said. We're going to keep the party moving. We're going to keep the party. Ed, you got anything to say about Xavier? TJ, anybody?
I'm reading up on him, and the thing I like the most is it says in his strengths, he's almost never penalized. So that's always a plus.
That's
when
good.
A player draws no
That's
penalty.
good,
Yeah.
CJ, you good, C?
Yeah, pretty much all guys said the Bears could use him. They definitely could use him.
Yeah.
And they definitely need a guy like that.
Yeah, 6 feet 203, man. That's not a small. He's not tall, super tall, but he got that. He's 203 pounds, bro. You're gonna feel that shit. Somebody 200 plus pounds running at you with a 4.5, running straight smack at your ass. You're gonna feel that. So guys like this is probably perfect for a guy like Dennis Allen defense, man. So I want. Yeah. This was a great late round pick by Chicago Clarence, man, for Xavier Watts. I like his film. I like his size. You know what I mean? I like his speed. And he played for Notre Dame. So you killed it with this one, big dog. Well, I appreciate this one. This was a good one. But let's keep it moving with, I think the next one is about Mike Green. And Mike Green was chosen by Allen. Let's go. Talk to us, big dog. Talk to us, big dog.
Hey, man, I like Mike Green out of Marshall, man. He had some off the field issues, and I think that's probably why he transferred to Marshall. He had some stuff going on, but as far as his style of play, everything speed. Like he just attacks. He's 6'3.5", 250 pounds. He's a little bit slight, but as far as like gaining weight, he could probably gain a little bit. He's got the frame to gain a little bit of weight if he's gonna come into our system. But the technique and 17 sacks, man. 17 sacks in football is 17 sacks. I don't care what league you play in. That means you're productive. So that's the thing I love about him. He's got a good swim technique, as you see right there. He just attacks the football. He attacks the quarterback. Like his name is printed on the quarterback every game. So that's what I really like about the kid. He plays at a high level, and his motor runs really hot.
I was just about to say that. Yep.
Yeah, his motor runs hot. Like, and a guy like that, you just put him on the field.
Thanks, bro.
You know, we can find a spot for him. So that's what I love about Mike Green. I'm thinking I think he was a top 100 pick. So he'll probably be a 3rd or 4th round pick, but he's got the juice to play.
Yeah, man, because what I'm saying right now is his feet. He looks like he knows where he wants to go. He looks like he knows where he wants to attack, and he looks like he has good escapability too to get away from offensive linemen. Like a lot of times, the defensive ends and a guy like that, they know how to move their hands really well. They know how to swim, move, and get an offensive lineman hands off of them. So what I'm seeing right here, right now, he has the whole tool set. He got the speed, he got the hands, he got the feet, and it's up here. It's like he has a good IQ of what's going on up here before the play even happens. And that's something that I know that really, really good defensive coordinators are going to look for in a player in the late round. Like, we know you physical, we know you fast, we know you quick, but what's going on between the ears? Like, what are you thinking? How do you think to get on the field? So it looks like this dude right here, Mike Green, don't look like a slouch to me, man. He don't look like a slouch. Look, he's just attacking the football. Wherever the football is, he knows where it's going. He's on it right there. So I like the fact that he has that type of ability, man. I like here he is lining up on the right. Look how he ducked down. I saw he ducked down right there. Got up under that line. He got up under him, man. Damn.
He a ballerina, man. He a ballerina.
Football. That's football right there. That's a man that's instincts. You cannot teach that.
So what you think, Phil? What do you think right here, man? He don't
I'm
give
sorry, I
up
didn't
on
mean to cut
plays.
in, but I love this guy. I absolutely love Mike Green. Now, you can set the off the field stuff to the side. That's not for me. What's for me to decide is what he is as a football player. And this dude is speed to power personified. I love this dude. He has instincts. He has great instincts as a football player. He gets after the quarterback and he gets after the ball carrier in a violent way. I love violent football players. This dude would be an instant fan favorite in Chicago. I don't know if you have to take him at number 10 or if you can get him in the second round. If you can get this dude in the second round,
he's second round.
The draft. Like if you get this dude at 39, that's a great. I mean, you can't get a better player at 39. Period. This dude's a beast. And I'm telling you, I think you draft this dude at 39. He's your starting defensive end for a long time in Chicago, and the fans will love this guy. As long as everything off the field clears up, I love Mike Green, man. He is a football player. He is a Chicago Bear. He just doesn't know it yet.
Chicago Clans, what's your thoughts, man? I got to get rid of this one little picture right here. Let me see if I can find him. So what's your thoughts on this dude right here?
Well, what I liked about him, that's about watching the films, and we were just looking at with the off the field stuff, notwithstanding, because we don't need that kind of drama on any football team. And I don't think any football team likes to welcome that kind of stuff. But he arrives at the quarterback with bad intentions. And if you look at it, particularly when he's engaged with the offensive lineman, he's quickly able to diagnose the play and disengage. So basically, he's not standing there fighting with the offensive lineman trying to see what you do. He's made his mind up, which tells me he does a lot of pre-snap reads. He's looking at plays, which tells me he's studying. So bam, he engages with the offensive lineman, he disengages, he makes a decision. He's got quick feet, he's got quick decisions, he's got quick hands. I love that, and that's what you need in your defensive lineman. People who are quick with their hands, who can smack your hands off them, get off me, let me get after the quarterback, or let me get after the ball carrier. I like that. I like what I saw in him.
Yeah, that was a dope video, man. We look at some of his stats right here: 38 solo tackles, 17 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, bro. 17 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, and we can see some of his stats at the bottom. He just got better every year, man. Like this dude is, like you guys saying, the off the field issues. And I'm sick of the Chicago Bears. And we might have missed out on Jalen Carter because we didn't have a legion of goon of coaches. Now that we got with Dennis Allen and Eric Bieniemy and Bill and all those guys, man, we could take a risk on a guy like this, man. I think we got those those men, those leaders
Yeah.
of actual men that you could
Yeah.
that could mold a guy like this, man. So I would love to get this dude on our team if we can get to him. So another great pick by Allen right here, and I think this is his grade. No, that's not his. So he had like a 92 grade, bro. Like it's crazy. He had like a 92 grade, which is sick. So what did you think about his grade, Amber? What do you think about the video that you saw?
I mean, he just screams Chicago Bear, like Phil said. Like genuinely, it was also one of my picks as well. If obviously Abdul Carter's not going to be available. Let's be real. And Mike Green was definitely one of the edge rushers that I was looking at behind James Pierce Jr. and whatnot, because dude can get to the quarterback. And what do the Chicago Bears need? Players that can get to the quarterback. And alongside Montez Sweat, his ability to, what was it? Like natural instincts, pre-snap, like reads and whatnot. Like that's something that we need on the other side of Montez Sweat. And Dennis Allen will love this dude, especially when it comes to, being violent, getting to the quarterback. Just overall, there's nothing really more I can say, because this is just really solid if we can find a way to get him, whether it's in the second round or if he somehow falls to the third round and we can have an opportunity to get him even later. That would be insane too. But, I feel like people are going to realize he's the real deal. So, hopefully the Bears get him at like the second round pick,
All right, CJ, what's your thoughts before we go on to the next video, man? What you think of this dude right here? Look like he had all the tools, man. I like him.
Yeah, all I gotta say, if you put him next to Andrew Billings, I think he's gonna have a great year. If you put him next to Andrew Billings, he's gonna have a great year. Because all he needs that one-on-one, and he got his guy beat. He's to the quarterback already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his hands was moving, bro. His head was always moving this way, that way. Like it's good, but we're gonna keep it moving. We're gonna go with one of Fields. Let's go with Fields. I think this is Fields. I like the fact that what our boy Phil said, that this is a guy that's not playing in the Raisin Brown conference or the Frosted Flakes conference. He's playing actual in a real conference. So I love that, and I love that he can be on this team. So Chicago, Clarence, what are your thoughts on that guy right there?
I've watched this guy play. Like I said before, when I watch college football, I watch Notre Dame football, and Notre Dame played Virginia Tech, and this guy's name was called a lot. He reminds me a lot of Grady Jarrett when we just got from the Atlanta Falcons. You put him on the defensive line, and the guy makes plays. He's disruptive. Not a great defense, but he's the best player on a decent defense. But you put him on with other players that's above a higher caliber than him, and you will still hear this guy's name called. That's what I like about him. He will find a way to impact the football game. He gets in there, he mixes it up. And like I said before, when you watch the game, you will hear this guy's name called. And I'm not talking about doing player introductions. I'm talking about during the game. He makes football plays.
Not for pre-snap penalties and shit like that. Playmaker, baby, playmaker. Andy, what's your thought?
He will get after you.
Yeah.
I like this kid too from Virginia Tech. Defensive end, I think he'll be a fine. I think he'd probably be a rotation piece. I think we're going to start Deo and Montez Sweat, obviously, but you can't have too many pass rushers. I mean, the Philadelphia Eagles just showed us you cannot have too many pass rushers. I think he'd be an excellent rotation piece, maybe projecting into starter one day. I mean, I like the kid. He gets in the backfield and he sacks the quarterback, and that's what we need. Pressure on that quarterback, because we haven't been able to do that the last couple of years, it seems like. So I like the kid. If he's around in, third or fourth round, I would definitely take him.
I think he can play three technique.
Oh,
I think he's too small. He's listed at 258. That's too light.
But there's nothing wrong with putting on weight and putting on muscle. The people do it all the time. You put him on that line and the guy makes plays. If you look at Grady Jarrett, most people wouldn't have put him in three technique, but that's where we're going to play him. They got similar body types. This guy gets in the way, he's disruptive, and the quarterback will have to worry about him. He's that kind of a football player, a tenacious guy. Like I said before, he will disrupt stuff. And that's what you need on your defensive line. Somebody that's going to help stop the run. He's going to engage with your snapper and get in the backfield and give the quarterback some heat up the middle. This guy can do that.
Yeah, because here's some of his breakdown numbers at the edge. His rank was 60 to 80. He's above average. He's 80, 77, 70. So he's above average, man. So you take a guy like this and you can get him from an 80 to a 77 to maybe an 86, 87, depending on who his teammates are, depending on who the coaching staff is, the training regiment. You can get a guy like this and he can get better quick. 4.6 for a 40-yard, 10-yard split, 1.64. Vertical jump, 36 and a half. Like this is the athlete, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of those guys, man. And the fact that he can go in the later round, this is considered a steal, man. So I'm not mad at this. So CJ, before we move on to the next video, what do you think about him? All right, CJ's doing something else. That's cool. So we're gonna go to another video. We got about, I think, like 20 minutes left. Not even 20. We've actually flying through this. So we're gonna go to one more. I think this is the Allen's last one. We're gonna get to it. Let's go, OG Allen, your boy Aaron Smith, South Carolina State.
Yeah, man. I had to get a guy from the HBCU, man. I'm sorry, y'all, man, but I love my HBCUs, man. So I had to find one guy, man, that a lot of people been talking about. Aaron Smith is a middle linebacker out of South Carolina State. They won the Heritage Bowl, which is the so the Black College like Super Bowl, basically, national championship. So they won that game. This kid right here, man, he's all over the place, like a middle linebacker supposed to be. He's on everything in traffic. He's a very technically sound kid where he's never outside of his responsibilities, meaning when he's in the middle of the field, he stays in between the hash. When he's called to blitz, he's always between the A gaps. Some linebackers have tendency, like, I ain't gonna say the name, Tremaine Edmonds, guys play outside of their responsibility gaps. He's a middle linebacker that stays within his responsibilities. You never see the kid out of place. Every play you see, he's game tackling, he's on the ball. I mean, everything, you can't sidestep him. I mean, he's never gonna outrun the play. Most middle linebackers sometimes can be tricked. He's one of those guys you can't trick. He's gonna stay on his responsibility. He's gonna follow the guard. Whenever a fullback or H-back is being used, he's gonna be on it. He's very sound fundamentally. And I think he was around about 6 foot, about 228. So he's got the perfect size for a middle linebacker in a 4-3 scheme that's gonna get down the shoot, like we say in college. You gotta get down the middle of the field. And he's one of those guys, man, he can be a helicopter back there. So I really love the kid out of South Carolina State, Aaron Smith, and he'll be a late round, about 5th, 6th round pick, maybe in the 4th, depending on what the team needs are. But I think he would definitely help out the linebacker core, because we need another linebacker, losing Sanborn, and I think this guy will be a fan favorite.
Yeah, man. So Aaron, what are you thinking, Aaron, man, just off the top, man? What are you seeing on this little short clip right here from the guy right here? What do you think?
I mean, it's a pretty solid move. I think, I haven't really heard much about him either. So it's like, listen, that's how deep this draft class is. And I feel like, there's a lot of players, especially from HBCU schools and whatnot, that could be a very good addition to the Chicago Bears. And, this is just an example of, a player like Aaron Smith. And I like what I saw. I think he's been able to, do a lot of good on the defensive side. And, I just have to do more research and stuff like that. So I like it so far.
I love it, man. I love it. So Phil, what you looking at, Phil? What's popping off on the film right here for you, Phil? What you thinking? I know you got something for me.
I do. To quickly recap me, I played football for 12 years, and I was a linebacker for 8 of them. And I finished my career at middle linebacker for 3 years in high school. So I know a little something about linebacker, and I like what I see from this guy. I think that he and I'm reading about him right now. It says he's an extremely instinctive linebacker. I'm big on that. I'm real big on that because a lot of middle linebacker is instincts. Now you got to read your guards, you got to read your keys, but you a lot of it is instincts. Like a lot of it. Hello, am I still on?
Yeah, you're good. It's good.
Okay.
It's technology, man. It's technology. Don't worry about it. We mess up all the stuff. Mess up all the time around here, bro. Get good.
All right, big bet. But yeah, no, I'm a big fan of guys that are instinctive. It says he's an effective tackler. It says that he's extremely fast. It says he's a little undersized, but so was Roquan Smith, and he was a fan favorite and extremely effective, was he not?
Love me some Roquan.
I'm a big fan. It says he's projected for 7th round. Okay, we're gonna go back to the Shiloh Sanders thing. You're not gonna get a better player or a better prospect in this in the 7th round. I mean, you get Shiloh Sanders in the 6th, and you get this man in the 7th, and I might be more excited for a 6th and 7th round pick than I've ever been in my life. So I love this. I'm a big fan of it. Yeah, I mean, if we go Aaron Smith, I'm all for it.
So what do you think, Andy? What you think? Just on the film right now, just what we watching. Look like to me, he's where he's supposed to be all the time.
All
he
the
look like
time.
he can cover. You know what I'm saying? He's looking like he can cover. He can get to the running back. He looks disciplined. So Andy, what do you think of just on the video real quick?
I'm reading up on him now because I had not heard of him. Basically says he's a tremendous athlete. He actually played tight end and wide receiver in high school. So that tells me he's a tremendous athlete. His on-the-ball skills are listed as good as lateral quickness. He can cover. Yeah, I would definitely take a flyer on him in the 7th round. And if he doesn't get drafted, he's another guy I would be trying to get in my camp as an undrafted free agent for sure. I mean, yeah. I'm reading nothing but positive things about him. The only negative is he's undersized, which, like you guys said, so is Roquan, and look at the career he's having. I mean, I don't really see a lot of negatives about him except he's undersized.
Yeah, so the lack of size at a linebacker position, Alan, you can, or you know what, Phil, you can answer this. The lack of size for a linebacker spells trouble for what?
It spells trouble in pass coverage. That's especially in the 4-3, especially in our defense, where a 4-3 cover 2. That would be the only worry is he gonna be able to take away the middle of the field? His speed will help him there, but are they going to be able to throw the ball over him in order to get where they want in the middle of the field? I mean, if you're taking him in the 7th round, that's a worthy gamble. You're not gambling on. I mean, at that point, you're not banking on him being the starter. But if he shows up in camp and balls out, okay, great. I mean, I think great selection in the 7th round.
Can I add to that?
Go ahead. I don't care.
Yeah. To add to that the Sam linebacker is where I'm thinking he will probably be the most effective. So he will be playing kind of like where Edwards is playing. And Edwards is about 6'1", 6'2", give or take. He's not as athletic as Aaron, but I think if he played the Sam, he's gonna be in the flats more at linebacker, and he's gonna be attacking the run more too than the middle. So he'll be more on your A or your B gap responsibilities and the short side of the field. So I think I agree with Phil. That middle linebacker, you kind of reserve that for the 6'4", 6'5" guy like a Tremaine. And your shorter linebacker like a Lance Briggs or Roquan, they tend to play your Sam. So I think he will probably be a Sam in our scheme in the 4-3. So that's kind of where I would like to see him.
Yeah, man, I love it. So Chicago Clans, we're gonna end it before. Well, we're not ending it yet, but we're gonna end it with them North Carolina boys in a little while, just to wake you up and how that went down. I want to get your thoughts on that at the end. But what do you think about this guy? Did you watch any film on him?
No, I did not. This is the first time I've seen him. But what sticks out to me is his gap integrity. You want to keep big plays from happening. You got your football players, your defense have got to be. They got to stay in their gaps. And from what I'm seeing from him, this guy typically likes to do that. Sam Mills was an undersized football player. He played linebacker, and he did very, very well for himself. And as much as we have lamented the Chicago Bears for not being able to get the quarterback position right up until now, which what we're hoping is one position that they have always drafted well. It's the linebacker position. So if the Chicago Bears was to take a flyer on this guy, they obviously see something that they like. I would trust them when it comes to them drafting linebackers.
I love it, man. Well said, man. So, Andy, you got anything right here for him? Because we're gonna go to another video in a second.
I mean, I would take a flyer. If he's not drafted, I would definitely invite him to camp for sure. Because I'm looking, they're saying he's a fringe 7th rounder. So he may not get drafted. So if he doesn't get drafted, I would definitely send him an invite to camp for sure.
Okay.
Definitely.
So, Phil, we're going to go one of Phil videos next, man. So, Phil, who was the linebacker you wanted me to put in here earlier? Who was that?
It was Jay Higgins, who
Let's go with Jay Higgins. Let's go. Turn your mic on.
My apologies. Here we go. One time for the one time. We gotta keep it going with the not turning the mic on. But I like Jay Higgins. Jay Higgins had a bad combine, so that's gonna hurt his draft stock. But I think that could be that we're gonna get him later if we decide to go with him. First of all, whoever said Iowa football player, this man's an Iowa football player. Allen, yes. So Iowa football players, especially linebackers, they know their ball, right? But what I like about this guy is that he got graded by PFF as a 90-something grade in coverage. He is known as a great coverage linebacker. So I thought what this man could do for us in a late-round pick is potentially replace Jack Sanborn. And then also maybe if he develops, maybe he could replace Edmonds. Now, looking at his draft profile, it's not ideal because he's 6 foot tall, right? We just talked about how a middle linebacker in this scheme, you'd like him to be a little taller than that. But I think if as a replacement for Jack Sanborn, who's not going to be on the, who's not going to be on the field all the time, we're going to be in nickel a lot. I think that Jay Higgins might be a great pickup because, I mean, if you bring Tremaine Edmonds on the blitz, maybe this guy can cover down in coverage. Or just in general, I mean, we know that Jack Sanborn's one of his strengths was actually instincts in coverage. So this guy's really known as a instinctual zone coverage player. So I don't know if the Bears will go with him. His production outweighs his athleticism a lot. However, I mean, I think if you're getting him in the 5th, 6th, or even 7th round, I think that it's a very valid pick. So we do need to pick up a 3rd linebacker. I mean, unless you think Noah Sewell is going to pan out for the Chicago Bears. So I think that Jay Higgins might be a decent pickup for the Bears late in the draft.
Yeah, and I love it, man. I love how you broke that down. Very well said, man. You a linebacker by blood, by DNA. You played it, so you know exactly what to look for. So you know when we do draft a linebacker, you're going to be the first person I hit up and say, yo, Paulie, man, what we think about this guy right here, man? So I love the fact that they looking to rebuild the linebacker core because Tremaine Edmonds, blind ass, non-tackling ass, is just not cutting it for the amount of money that he's getting paid right now. So I don't know if that's because of the lack of the pass rush that we can't get because we don't have nobody by Montez, but it seems like he just lets anything go by him. I've never seen somebody so damn tall with that type of physical ability that cannot tackle. Guys just run right by him, bro. So the fact that this guy can be a replacement for Jack Sanborn, like you said, but the fact that they're trying to build this linebacker core, man, they actually looked at that kid from Georgia too, Jalen Walker. They actually visited with him and they said it was an intense, like a real conversation and real sit down. So the fact that they're looking at the linebacker core lets you know that this probably one of the weakest or one position of it or two of it is really, really bad at this point. So I like that. So Chicago Clan, did you see that the Bears visited with Jalen Walker of Georgia before we move on?
Yeah, I did hear about that and some other players that they had in for visits as well. For this Jay Higgins guy, I did hear that he didn't have a good combine as well. But see, I don't typically like to hinge a lot of stuff on the combine. Your resume is the time that you spent in college. You know, that's when you have seen me work. So I don't think that you just throw out, the 3-4 years I spent in college based on one freaking week. You know, that's going to determine where you draft me. That's why your ass has been getting fired in these general manager positions and stuff like that. When you put too much emphasis on one damn week and not 3-4 years on what you don't see me work. You know, if I'm cooking in college and I'm 3 years, 4 years, and I'm playing in the Big Ten, I'm playing in the SEC, you mean to tell me my draft stock is don't drop because I had a bad freaking week? Come on, man.
Talk to him. Talk to him, King. I love that.
Clarence, baby. Talk to him. So we're gonna keep it rolling with the next video, man. We kind of going along, so let's just do the videos. Who want their video up? I know I some Chicago Clarence. Hold on, Chicago Clarence has some dope ass people, bro. Hold on. Let me get the OG stuff up here. So he had Xavier Watts. We did Shiloh. And we're gonna go with this wide receiver. I think this is the first wide receiver we've looked at tonight. So let's get to it.
If you haven't heard about this guy, then you ain't been paying attention. I know the Ohio State Buckeyes have Marvin Harrison Jr. I know they got Jeremiah Smith in there doing his thing, but this dude right here is who you do not want to see in that damn slot position. You don't want this guy to be the third wide receiver on the field. You don't want to have to cover him. This guy runs crisp routes. He is deadly if you get the ball to him in space. He is fast as hell, and he will give your defensive coordinator a surefire headache. I love this guy. And if we, for some reason, were to get our hands on him, sign me up. I'll buy a damn jersey. I love this guy. I hate the Buckeyes, but I love this guy.
Wait. You gonna get a rookie wide receiver? Hey, that says something.
There was a time when this man was thought of the first round wide receiver.
Yeah.
Hell yes. Yes, he was.
He was a top receiver in mock drafts for the top 2, top 3 at worst for a long time. And I think it was probably this past year that brought him down. But who was Ohio State's quarterback?
I have no idea.
Will Howard?
Will Howard.
Yeah.
I mean,
Will Howard, maybe?
Yeah,
I don't know who the hell that is. He's trash because I don't. I mean, I would rather have the guy that just transferred from there. So, yeah, I think I love guys that fall in the draft because they had one down year after they were supposed to be first round draft prospects. Sign me up for that. I love this pick by you, Clarence.
Yeah, and I remember him being talked about very highly. Did he decide?
He was injured a good little bit. But like I said before, when the guy was on the field, like he came back last year, and everybody was in love with Jeremiah Smith, and deservedly so. But people forget about him, and this guy is a problem. I mean, he's got everything you want. Now, I'm not saying he's number 1, but he's definitely a solid number 2 pick. He is a problem in the open field. You forget about him, and if you got weapons all over the place, and the way Ben Johnson likes to sling the pill around, you would not do any worse than to have this guy on that field. I love him.
Man, so Alan, what you think about this first offensive player right here, Alan?
So that's the thing I like about him. But hey man, at second round pick, I think he would be good, man. He definitely be a slot receiver. I don't know his schedule right now, but he moves smooth like a guy inside the head. So he's clean out on him. That's what I like about him.
Yeah, I like it, Andy. What you like about him, man? I want them to build this wide receiver core, man. Everybody's still thinking Tyler Scott's going to be good, man. Tyler Scott been here 17 years, bro, and he still can't get it right for whatever reason. Like, it's time to move on. Oh, let's give him another chance. Let's give him a chance under Ben Johnson. He can work miracles, man. Look, man, Jesus can work miracles. That don't mean he wanted to do it all the time and waste the time doing it. I see you in a private chat, but I can't type back right now.
I like this kid a lot, too. When I watched Ohio State to watch Harrison, I used to think, man, this kid, he might just be as good as Harrison. I like him a lot. I think he's an excellent route runner, and I'm reading his strengths. He manipulates the defensive backs in space. That means he's a space finder as well. Like Kelsey, he finds the open space in zones. I mean, I like this kid. I definitely would take him. I think if he would have came out last year, he would have been a first rounder for sure. But the quarterback
no doubt
flipped in Ohio State, and But I like this kid. I liked him as much as Harrison. I thought he was just as good when they played together. Like, he really opened my eyes. I was like, man, this kid is going to be good. I would take him in a heartbeat if he's available in the second round.
Game, brother. I'm trying to tell you. I like this kid better than Odunze.
He's got game.
Damn. Hey, I got to step that up after the show. Go ahead, Phil. Go ahead, Phil. Do your thing, bro.
I'm sorry. I respect it. Dude, when you said your Jesus thing, I almost just died. But I mean, NFL.com has this man compared to Jackson Smith-Njigba. Is he not a first-round pick? Is he not doing it for Seattle? Is he not like legitimately a potentially a number one wide receiver? I mean, he is now for Seattle, right? They shipped off DJ. So if this man's Jackson Smith-Njigba and available in the second round, you run to the podium. Period. But I mean, Tyler Scott, RIP after this conversation. Oh my God.
I had to cook him, bro. I had to do it live. I had to cook him. Like, I'm not one of these people that like to hold on to players, bro. If you're a really good player on my team, suck, I want you gone. I don't like to waste players' careers. If you're a bad player and you can't get on the field, you got to go, bro. Like, it's coming to your third coaching staff, man. So shout out to the 199 people in here right now, bro. This is crazy. We almost got 200 people in here right now. There it is right there. There's 200 people. 200 people in the podcast right now, bro. So this is fire right now. But Chicago Clarence, hold on. Look at this Chicago Clarence. Look what this dude. This dude didn't even do the 40-yard dash, bro. He didn't even do his 40-yard dash. He's like, the hell with y'all, bro. Y'all know my record. He says he ran a 4.2 in high school at the 24/7 sports combine. Wait. In high school. So let me see. Rebecca was a top recruit, a standout player for Ohio State. He did not run the 40-yard dash at the combine. Despite not testing at the combine, Igbuka's drive stock remained strong with some projections suggesting that he could end up being a top 25 selection in the 2025 draft. And that's what you're saying. Like, this dude can ball. This dude can ball. You had Marvin Harrison on the other side, and people forgot about him. But the proof is in the pudding in that statement right there, right, Chicago?
Hell yeah. It's like I said, if you got bona fide wide receivers on your team when this guy has already proved it, and you forget about him in that slot, then your ass might as well line up for the extra point. You're going to get smoked. This guy can do it. Yeah, plain and simple. And, you don't let, and like I said this 15 minutes ago, you don't let a week determine your work when you've already been doing it 3-4 years in college. And this guy has been doing it. He's been on the other side of Marvin Harrison. He's been on the other side of Smith. And all he does is make plays. You forget about him, line up for the extra point. He's dancing in the end zone.
Man.
And this is coming from a guy who hates Ohio State.
Yes, he does.
I cannot get it over to you enough how much I hate that team. But I respect his game. The boy can play. And that goes for them running backs too.
Yeah. So go ahead, Phil. Phil like he had his hand raised. So go ahead, Phil.
No. I was just gonna say, like, that's how you know it's real. If a man hates Ohio State, because Ohio State's one of the most hateable colleges in the country. If you hate Ohio State and you're willing to give one of their players shine, it's real.
All right. So with that being said, I think we did all the Islands players. I think we did all the Chicago Clarence players. Am I right, Clarence? Did I get all of yours?
Yes, sir. You got.
All right.
Yes,
so
sir.
the last two people we got to knock out is Andy's players, and I think I got one more left of Phil. So let me pull up one of Andy's players right. Appreciate the time you guys came in here today, man. I hope it had fun. Phil, this is your first podcast with us, man. We've been doing this for years. I just decided to bring the podcast over to Twitter. Like, we some OGs on Facebook, bro. It's a whole different beast over there. So we just bringing the platform to X, man. I'm glad you came. So this is your first one, man. So I hope it's the first of many with us, especially when the season starts, bro, because, bro, the instant reactions we get from our shows from when we play games is unbelievable, bro. There's no structure to it. It's just people coming with the comments, and the comments create the show. So I can't wait that you come on those shows with us, man. But let's get on to Andy. Who was one of your guys, man? We got one more. I think it is this guy. This one of your guys, right, Andy?
Yes, sir. He reminds me now. Again, he's not.
I
He
knew it
doesn't
was
project to
about
be a starter. He would be projected to be a rotation piece, a defensive tackle. He reminds me a lot of Andrew Billingsley. He's got a 6th or 7th round grade on him. He's thick. He hits ball carriers with power, and he maintains his gap. He was a 3-year starter at Georgia, which is SEC. So I like this kid a lot as a defensive tackle. Again, a rotation piece, not a starter. But I would definitely take a flyer on him. He reminds me of Billings. His game is more like Billings than Dexter's. He's more of a gap control, holds his ground, gets to the ball carrier. He's not going to sack the quarterback a lot. But I like his game. And he was a 3-year starter at Georgia.
So to me, especially according to some of his stats, he looks like a camp body, man.
Yeah,
he looks like
thick.
A camp body.
He says he's thick, has tremendous upper body strength.
Yeah, man. When I was looking at his film, it wasn't a lot to go off of. He didn't have a lot of film on him, man. So you know how that goes. Once you start not to see the highlights on the player, that kind of lets you know how a lot of people feel about him when they rank that and their stats and all that. It's not a lot on tape. So, but if we can build up the trenches, man, with a guy, because look, everybody don't have to be a 1st round, 2nd round pick all the time to be on the team. Like if you can find those guys, this is the reason for this episode, is to get you a guy in the later rounds, to get you a guy that could just to help you out and find that diamond in the rough. So you can't underestimate anybody. You can't judge a book by its cover. You can just give them a shot and see what they can do with a great staff of coaches, especially with our new defensive coordinator and the new defensive line coach that I think that we do have. I like this kid as a project, man. So I would like to see him get a shot on our team too. So I think that's probably our last video, I think. Hold on, guys. And I think I got some of his stats right here. No, that's Jared Ivey. Wrong guy. I think it was this one. Yeah, Nazir Stackhouse, man. 10 tackles, 0 sacks, 0 forced fumbles. This is his stats from 2024. 10 solos, 2023, 13 solos. So he's not, like you said, one of the guys that's going to just blow the top off. You know what I mean? Or anything like that. So but he is somebody that you could probably help fill out your roster, that you can help build the trenches with or something like that. So what do you think about that Chicago clearance, man? This guy Nazir Stackhouse, man. Any good words for him? Is any positivity or, optimism?
Hell, with stacks like that, his ass should be on the back of a milk carton asking where he's at. That's what I think about it. I know Georgia defenses have been stout against the run and what have you, but hell, if you play, how many games did he play? You telling me you're only gonna give me 10 solo tackles? I mean, what the hell? Where were you at?
He's more like Billings. He's more of a gap control, maintain his lane. He's not gonna pile up quarterback sacks or anything like that. He's more like Billings. He's thick and powerful and maintains his gaps.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, how many tackles did you have? Quarterback pressures, that's a stat. Solo tackles, they give you credit for if you assist on tackles too. I ain't seeing none of that shit here. So like I said, he should be on the back of a milk carton. Where is he at?
Man, that's it don't really look a camp body, man, but we'll see where he end up falling in. I think that was the last one. I think I got all the Andes. I think I got all Clarence. I know I got all Chicago's. I know I got all the Phils and Allen. So that will end the show. So with that being said, this has been a great episode. Over 209 people are in here right now. Shout out to the guys that came in here tonight, man. We got Chicago Clarence. We got Andy of the Bears Den podcast. We got Amherst of Soulback Sports. Then we got the newcomer, our boy, Phil from Professional Pro fame by the way of just another year Chicago Bears, Chicago Bulls, man. Very energetic, very smart, played football, came in on his first time here and absolutely destroyed and absolutely cooked with us tonight, man. And it shows by the perception that we got. Shout out to anybody in here that retweeted, that reposted, that left a comment or anything on Facebook, on YouTube, or X, man. We really appreciate it. So with that being said, we're going to get a guest to honor and let them know where everybody can find you at, Phil.
Hey, man, I really appreciate it. This was a lot of fun, and it is going to be the first of many. You guys are hilarious. This is amazing. I love it. I think it's great. And you can find me at JCPhil on Twitter or a lot of different platforms, at JShyBulls with the underscore in between JShy and Bulls for my work with the Just Another Year Chicago Bulls on YouTube and on Twitter, and at Profane Pod for our Twitter account. And the Professionally Profane podcast can be found on Spotify or at Profane Pod on YouTube, where we talk about all Chicago sports, but that is for adults. Children, I'm so sorry. But guys, thank you so much. And I had a great time with you guys, and this will be the first of many. Until next time.
All right, hold on. Then we're gonna get our boy right here. Now me and Amherst, man, we've been working together for this is not our first rodeo, man. Young boy came to me and we worked together, man. So Amherst, man, I appreciate it. Every time you come up in here, you know what I'm saying? You come with the knowledge, you come with the effort, you come with the ability to elevate this platform, man. What we're trying to do with the Bears community on X, man. We built our own network. Everybody saw what's going on with Bearstein or Beerstein. Look, like I told y'all on my X page, I know about 4 or 5 platforms and podcasts that have smoked any and every huge media Bears outlet. You see Chicago Clarence, you see Phil, you see Aaron, you see me, you see Allen, you see CJ. We'll cook anybody, bro. So Aaron, man, tell the people where they can find you at, big dog.
Yeah, again, as usual, appreciate you for having me and taking the time to, invite me to this podcast. I always love talking football with you guys, and I learned something new today as well, especially with a lot of the prospects that are going to be in this draft. So you guys can find me at YouTube and Twitter and whatever, like all the platforms, pretty much at SoBack Sports. I post a lot on there, especially on TikTok as well. So feel free to follow us that as well, and on X as well. So appreciate you again for having me on.
Man, I love it, bro. I just want to build a community, man, of real Bear fans. And last but not least is my OGs, man. Every time these guys come on here, bro, I learn so much from them, man. Like, they know way more than I do. I sit here and listen to them. I enjoy listening to them. They football guys. You got to respect them, man. Chicago Clarence, not only is he hilarious, but he knows ball. Then we got the mastermind over here to my right, the Jedi master with the notes over here, Andy, man. So they like outcasts, bro. You cannot have one without the other, man. So I appreciate you guys coming on tonight, man. You know how we've been rocking for almost 2 seasons now. So with that being said, man, Andy, tell the people where they can find you guys at, bro.
Well, as always, thanks for having us. You can find us at Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. And G Walker, it's been a blast as always, and a pleasure meeting you guys and working with you guys. Hopefully we team up again in the future. And that's all I got to say. I'm ready for the draft. And I've learned a lot tonight, too. A lot of prospects I didn't hear of. Most of them I did hear of. But I enjoyed it. Thank you for having me.
Hold on.
And don't forget the Bears Den podcast. No. Don't forget the Bears Den podcast is going to be coming to Chicago.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, the Bears Den podcast. We're going to hang out in June. I think they're doing like a bowling tournament, so I'm going to pull up with those guys in June, get to meet them in person, man. Like I say, we're trying to build a community and really be around real Bear fans that want to talk ball. But Chicago, I'm not gonna let you get out of here about talking about the North Carolina Tar Heels, bro.
Oh, no.
I can't, man. I can't do it.
Oh.
Hubert Davis, what's going on? Y'all both can talk. Y'all give us 30 seconds of good talk, man, before we go.
You had to poke the bear.
I had to, man. Explain it to me.
Andy has watched me. We have been together and watched Chicago Bear games for 6-7 years now, and he's watched North Carolina basketball, and he tells me all the time I am absolutely the maddest and the more hateful watching a North Carolina Tar Heel basketball game than watching Chicago. And I mean, hell, who am I to argue with him? But this year has been an absolute nightmare for me because out of all the sports, out of all my teams, I love the North Carolina Tar Heels the most. And when they are not winning and when they are not good, it absolutely puts me in a bad mood. And this year, I could strangle Hubert Davis. I mean, I want if we run into each other, I'm fucking him up on sight because I am sick and tired of watching what I've watched. We get down 20, 25 points. We make a furious comeback only to lose in the last few possessions, and yesterday was no different. We got down 18 at the half. We try to make a comeback, and when the game is on the line, their best shooter, and we elect not to trap the ball, to get the ball out of his hands. Nobody else is scoring, but we let Padula get out there and have a wide open 3. Why? Because our best perimeter defensive player, Seth Trimble, decides to go under a screen, which is an absolute no-no in basketball. That's coaching. That's the reason why I have been on Hubert Davis's ass. That's exactly the reason why I will whoop his ass if we run into each other. I don't care if it's at QT, McDonald's, the bowling alley. He better not cross paths with me. I'm whooping his ass on sight.
That's Chicago clearance. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a fire show. And we'll see you guys when we see you. Peace.